Hello, welcome to the Q&A. Let's see if anyone is live. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah. I know. Uh, okay, so I guess I'm just gonna mess around a little bit. I'm going to mess around with these attachments. Can put both of their heads on fire. So I parent him. Um, Next thing you need to do is go to the attachments and select a socket. I'm going to parent them to the heads. Same with this one. That does look quite interesting. So now they are parented. I can actually just go and walk around with this and it will follow, which is quite fun. But I want it to be on the top of the head. So what I will do now is go to the torch. So I have the torch of Kendrick selected. Now you can either move this gizmo up or you can go to the transform on the torch and change the axis here. Actually, I turned around. Sometimes it's easier to use the gizmos, you know. So now his hair is on fire. And I will do the same with her. So now when I bring these guys onto the timeline, I can have him walk with his head on fire. Actually, this is the wrong walk. So this is a walk on the spot. So I did that wrong. There's no need for this. I would actually keyframe this. So let's say we want to go from, we're going to make a 500 frame animation. I'll put this here. Transform position. And I'll do the opposite with, so now I need to just eyeball the speed. And I can kind of move these keyframes around and see what works best. Okay, I got a question. You were doing full body capture. What was the device? I'm assuming you mean what kind of motion capture being used. So you can take any kind of body device. It really kind of depends on what you want. You know, we're really kind of supporting everything. So we just added Radical, Lumaya, Manus, Rococo. I think the perception neuron is a very good value for money. Accents and nonsense are higher end suits. It's really up to what you kind of want to spend. I haven't really had that much. I had an old Rococo suit when they first came out, so I haven't really kind of tested that much. Their kind of new stuff with the coil looks interesting, but it depends how much you want to spend basically. I would make a decision based on that. I think the Perception Neuron Studio is definitely the best value for money. Yeah. So, but if I were to go and shoot a cinematic for a client, I probably would shoot optical, you know, so it really kind of depends on what your use case is. We really kind of made this program for basically like the casual kind of users or people that are, you know, just not necessarily wanting to use this for, you know, advertising, film, or anything like that. So we kind of really prefer, you know, to find like the cheapest solution for the best quality from the cheapest solution. But yeah, we aim to please everything. It also does really kind of depend on what you want to do. You know, like if you do a lot of motion that's like has floor contact, suits are good. You know, if the drift doesn't really make that much difference. If you wanna, yeah, it really kind of, it really differs for what your use case is and what your budget is. I think there are a couple of channels that have like in-depth testing for these type of suits. But yeah, we had you know, versions of everything at one point. But I haven't really kind of tested everything in production environments. You know, one thing I can tell that is really cool with Accents is that it doesn't have interference with you know, electronics and metal, but their suits, they come at a you know, at a pretty hefty price. So what I'm going to do now is like I have my walk. So I was going to say here, I'm going to switch off this upper body and I'm going to record the upper body. So by doing that, it's like whenever it's grayed out, it's not recording that. So I'm not recording the face, I'm not recording the lower body. But I'm going to basically go like this and like, oh, and record this. So upper body. Oh. Stop. I did not need that sound, so get rid of that layer. Push this back. Now stop this, and you see that these are nicely kind of merged now. So he's moving his hands, but I'm using a walk cycle. What about import of FBX and OBJ? So they're quite outdated formats. You know, FBX is a Autodesk format. We are supporting GLTF, which is a much more modern format, and FBX for animation and soon also cameras. What device did you use to record the upper body? Yeah, so OBJ doesn't really do much. So, you know, we don't really have any intentions of supporting that because you can always kind of convert it in any 3D package. You know, GLTF is a much more modern format, GLB and GLTF. So what device did you record the upper body? This is a webcam. So let me see if I can show that. Yeah, it's literally like a HD webcam. Let's see. Yeah, so you see this is a webcam with a VMC application. Okay, can I edit the keyframe of the motion capture? Yes, you can, but we do not expose the rig just yet. We will work on that as soon as we kind of transition to or upgrade the engine. But you have level of control, and I will show you how. So let's say I have these, depends on what you want to do, right? So let's say I want to, what should we do? Let's say I want to lower these arms. What I could do is I can add another body animation and set that to upper only. Now I can open my edit window and go to where's my animations? So my animations, and I'll place those here. Actually, I'll place them. And what I can do is basically, for example, let's say I want to do that with a pose. That might be a good idea. So let's say I'll take a pose. I can take this A pose, for example, and I can put that on top of this. And if I do that, you know, this is obviously a bit of a workaround. So now it's like overruling this upper animation with 100%. But if I set this to 0, I have my animation. So if I want those arms to go down slowly, I can keyframe this. You see, so this is how you can kind of fix that. I know that's probably not what people want who are animators, but that's all what can be do right now. What about crowds and background characters? We are actually literally working on a project right now where we're adding a lot of crowds, so that will make it into the software. I'm not sure exactly when, probably in the next week or two. I did not use a particular hotkey. This is set to auto key, so if I want to change this, it will automatically do that here. You can also basically, a lot of times you can kind of keyframe with these kind of keys here. I never use a hotkey for that. It might be that there actually is one that exists. I'm not sure. Take a look. And there are, you can actually kind of modify these hotkeys. Yeah. But yeah, so this is what you could do for now. So using the poses, that's something I do quite often. Just when I have some kind of intersection or something that I need to move, I will find like a pose that I can kind of blend between. It works with animations as well. For example, let's say I'm going to switch this corrective layer off. Let's say I want this guy now to be no blender import. USD is definitely something that's on our radar, possibly, but we are a small team and we have a lot of stuff that needs to be done still. You know, sorting out the ability to basically move from Unreal Engine to Replikant is that's what we're kind of focusing on. And once that is fixed, a lot of these things will be coming with that, because you can bring that into Unreal Engine and then you'll be able to serialize and package your content for Replikant. So that is like big on our you know, big task on our schedule. Can't remember what I was shooting now. Oh yeah. So let's say, for example, I have this like drunk idol in here, right? Or you see it's kind of wobbling a little bit, right? Now let's say I want to correct this whole pose because he's walking, but he's not like weirded out enough for me. So what I can do is, you know, I switched off my corrective layer here. Maybe I want that in the future. You can basically stack these as much as you want, right? So now I'm going to basically use this full body on top of this. Actually, maybe I don't want the full body. Let's see, because I have a walk cycle, so I can switch this lower body off. And if I set this to 0.7, I should basically have, you know, there's still a little bit of that movement in here, but I can also say, you know what, let's not do the arms, you know, let's just have one arm, you know. So this is a kind of, it's quite a different way of working with animation, but the reason we kind of built this is so that, you know, you can do a lot with this library. You know, you can do a lot of stuff And you can fix a lot of things, and you can, you know, it's made to be kind of quick, so you can really kind of go to town on this. And if you wanted to have like a different hand on something, again, you can basically kind of say, hey, just use the left or right arm or hand. So that's the thing. What about rigging? You don't need to do any rigging on this. So we have a procedural system here where you basically have two characters. Let me show how that works. So we have a male and a female. I'll put them next to each other. Actually, we have four characters. We have we also support like the meta-human, but we kind of adopted that format a little bit. So you have a meta-human male, a meta-human female. That's like for the, you know, slightly higher spec machines. And then you have like a normal male and female. But so when I take all these proportions off, you see that this now basically goes into a default character. And if I duplicate this one here, I can load a rig from a different character. So if you stack leg animation, yes. So let's say, like, you know, this might look like a completely different character, right? So I'm gonna load it. But you see what's actually happening under the hood. This character, I need to be able to bring in my own head mesh. Can you explain that? Is that a head mesh, like, does that need to be like a meta-human head mesh? That is what we're currently working on. So you will be able to bring your own kind of shape and textures in. Anything else? It has to be a meta-human. That's the focus right now. But let me show how this works. So if I take this fur off, and I'll take this skin off, and I'll take these proportions off, and all the other stuff, you see that both of these are the same base meshes. So this is what makes this quite powerful, because every single character is, you know, identical. And this is what allows you to, for example, if I want to put, you know, I want to put this outfit on this mesh, I can just say, okay, just outfit, switch all this off. So now it will load this this mesh, the geometry for this outfit. If I want to take the proportions of this character, I can just take this, and now I have these proportions. So all the rigging that happens that happens under the hood, that's all automated. Yeah, so for now, I'm not sure when that meta-human head import or shape import will be ready. It's very high on our to-do list, so that will come pretty soon. For now, it's literally GLTF. You can have some animation on that, but it's quite you know, experimental. So we actually, you know, really encourage people to test it and see how it works. So yeah, let's go back to the animation. So yeah, you see, if I wanted to have different legs, I can just keep stacking, and the top layer always does that. So let's say we want this one here, which is now, this is something that I really love. It's like whatever character you have selected. So I have this guy selected now. You basically get your preview like instantly. That's kind of cool. So let's say we take this one here, and I want to have this. Oh, here. Why don't we put like a female-looking catwalk, and we overrule these legs here. So I say body animation. I deselect the upper body, and you see that only the lower body is selected now. Now I'll take this catwalk. I should kind of have a catwalk in the place. That might be a bit weird, but let's see. Because some of them are root motion, other ones aren't. But you see what's already happening here, right? So basically, you know, now I have these kind of catwalk type of poses, because this wasn't on the spot. It actually is animated, so I can switch this off here. That position, that keyframe can be just like deleted. Oh shit. Oh, deleting keyframe crash. Good to know. Oh, sorry, I have to go through an update. Yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm running Steam here, is we do a kind of internal dev on Steam, and then once we've kind of tested it and feel that it's like stable and we haven't broken anything, we push it to Epic Game Store. And then you will basically see an update automatically appearing in your downloads. Yeah, reason for that is, again, like resources. We do eventually want to deploy to Steam as well, but it's quite a lot of work to deploy to two platforms. So since I'm gonna start making something, let me ask, like, what shall we make? You know, I have like half an hour to make something. Is there any kind of ideas that people want to do? I'll pick an environment and go and make something. Is the ability to play? Yes, I actually just made a tutorial on that. I can do that. Let's see. Anyone want to suggest an idea to make, and I'll show hair physics in that. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick theater stage then. So let's take a look at the different kinds of hairs quickly. So I always start in my, you know, so let me talk a little bit about that. So what we wanted to do was like make basically like a super easy cyberpunk scene. Okay, cool. Cyberpunk Street. Okay. We wanted to make something that's super easy for people to use, right? So hence we have basically our easy story mode. So when you start, you always get into the easy story mode, or easy streaming mode. That doesn't mean you need to stay in there, right? So you can always exit to advanced UI, which is what I'm going to use here. Okay, I'm gonna make the 2-camera person. I'm gonna make that actually manually in the advanced mode then. Okay, so we have a male and a female. I duplicated this by pressing Alt. I'm gonna put hair physics on both of them. So let's say we take some cyberpunk kind of character. Let's say we take this one. We'll put some hair on top of that. So you have your stylized hair, your regular hair, and your groom hair. Groom hair is the one that has physics. So let's see how that works. By default, they're off. You know, it's heavier on the GPU. I'm running a 3080 here, so that's quite powerful. So I can actually run this simulation quite well. So now I have a character with simulation. By default, there is a negative gravity. I always like to kind of, you know, put that up a little bit because it looks cool when they're moving around. Let's see if we can find something that fits a bit more cyberpunky here. Maybe this one here. Give it a purple color. Enable the simulation. Let's say we're going to go 500. So now it's actually kind of moving. And she's going to be our Android newsreader. So I'm going to make him a human. But I will put some outfit on him that feels like he's part of this world. Let's see what we have here. So here I basically kind of just take a preset character that I like and just copy that. I don't need his mocap. That needs to be fixed so it doesn't automatically go on. I don't want that helmet either. But you can also just at any time go in here and pick whatever you want in terms of outfits. And we're adding more and more of this stuff every day. So let's say this guy is going to be here. And we have her. So hopefully that covered the hair physics. I'm actually going to add some light because there's no light in this scene, or the characters aren't lit. So again, we give you a light rig preset so you can see, you know, you can quickly see what you want. So maybe something a bit more, let's see what works. Actually, that looked quite nice. And even though this is a preset, you have full control over this, you know. So I was telling why we made Replikant and what we wanted to do with it. We really wanted to kind of basically, you know, make the barrier to entry easier for people and get straight into making the content, you know. And we went pretty hard on this. We kind of made the tool that we wish we had when we had a lot of time. And you don't need to learn everything. So if you like, lighting is one of the hardest parts, I personally think, of 3D. It really can, you know, decide whether your stuff looks good or bad. And you know, as in 3D, you have like specialists in every kind of field. So for this, you don't need that. You can get a good look, but if you're, you know, familiar with lighting, you can go in here and tweak everything, right? You can go and kind of, you know, change. I'll just do the intensity for now, but I can go in and change everything in that rig. I can make my own rig. I can add lights, you know, pretty much like anything you could possibly want. But I'm gonna go for this right now. So we have a studio, 2 camera people, and a guy doing the news. Oh, there's 2 camera people. Okay, so we don't want to have this guy. So I'll hide. I'll hide him. Don't need him. I will have her. What I'll do now here, I'll go and show a little bit about the AI tools that we had. We've had internally, you know, we're all kind of artists and game developers. So for us, like, AI is kind of like it's a sore subject in a way because, you know, we don't necessarily agree how all these big companies are using it. But we also kind of realize that if you don't do any of it, you're going to left behind. So what we try to do is basically create an AI system that works in a way that the artist is in control. You know, and I'm going to show what I mean with that. So first of all, you will never need, in order to use Replikant, you'll never need AI. I'm going to use this now for a futuristic script. I'm going to show what I do. So let's say I have this character. I'm going to give her personality. She has already a preset here for this character. I'm going to add some stuff to it. Futuristic news reader. She's an android, and she hates all humans. So what I'm doing now here is like I'm shaping the personality of this character. So when I get to the AI side, we will know a little bit more about her, because this information is taken on board when we do a script. So let's say that she's also very kind of, she's also very sarcastic. Okay, so now I'm going to make a script, and I'll start from a new setup. So I had a standing character here. Oh, actually, I was just, my camera work is set really quickly, so I lost my character, by the way. So what I do right now, like I use these bookmarks to get back if I lose something. I'm going to start a new script, so I'll say modify stage setup. Say yes, that's fine. Now I'm going to take somebody sitting on a desk, this person here, say confirm, and then I'm going to say here, let's say we want to have like 20 lines. Nix tells the news in 2032 where most humans have become obsolete and work to serve their robot masters. Okay. Now, this is a little bit of an idea about a script. So now I'm going to see, what do I want? What's the genre? Okay, we're going to make it, let's see, we're going to make it science fiction. The time period is in the distant future. Dialogue style is going to be, let's do formal. Dialect tone is dark. Plot twist is unexpected. And the format, this is going to be for a YouTube video. I'm not going to use any AI backgrounds. I'm going to use that, what we just had here. So now I'll generate a script. That's a typo there. Generate a script. So what happens now, you see here. So we predicted that this is going to be 1.848 tokens, which is like a cent or something. We're passing on the cost from server. I had a request about that. You can try to request. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. Let's try that again. Maybe I'm not allowed to. Maybe I'm not allowed to generate this type of content. That would be quite interesting. Generate. Okay. Server error. Huh, okay. Well, there we go. The server of OpenAI doesn't work. Well, so that's how we basically is an iOS. No, it's not in development. Unfortunately, again, it's like we have we have a small team. However, we did just test running Replikant on Shadow. Shadow is a service where you can basically kind of have a PC in the cloud, and you can run that on Mac. And it was pretty amazing because my colleague was able to run Replikant on Let me show you that actually. Shadow Tech. He was able to run Replikant on an iPad, and it's super cheap. So you can get a gaming PC in the cloud for $20, which is a great way for now to get it on the Mac. But yeah, we obviously do want to get. Do you have any free recommendation for body mocap software to use with the webcam? Yeah, so there's a bunch of them. So I use there's one called VR Rig Unity that works quite well. Let me pull that up actually. So this one's free. Works really well. I wouldn't do that for full body, to be honest, but you can try loads of different things for this. There's also, they run on iPhone, where you use the iPhone skeletal tracking. There's a couple of those that work quite well. What I'm doing is like I'm using this one, but I'm just using the body or the upper body actually because I'm usually sitting, and then for my face I use the iPhone because I get better quality from that. And I have you see it here, I have a a dedicated iPhone 10 mini that you can pick up for pretty cheap. But yeah, I'm using this app mixed with an iPhone, and that's what you see in you see the face in the stream. I put that in the top left corner. Okay, let me see if we're back online. That is very interesting. Okay, well, let's see if we just make something then. Okay, so what I'll do now is basically just type my own script. Hello world. Oops. We So I'm just typed in some quick text here because it looks like OpenAI is overused. So what I now do is, you generate your own kind of script. You assign this to an avatar. So I have Nix as my newsreader. And you could also, record your own audio files here, and you can set the camera angles here. So I'm going to start with a, let's see, like a, no, yeah, this is good. Then I'm going to go in for close-up. I'll do like a medium, another close-up, and then a wide. So let's say I'm happy with this. I will now go and create a sequence based off this. And here I can say build sequence, right? So you have a couple of options that you can do here. I'm just going to leave this as is. I'll say build sequence. It will tell you how many tokens this will cost. And now the sequence is being built. And you see that you can switch this on and off, but you can see here that 0.16 token is used, and that was for the voice creation because we didn't use the script. We didn't use the script generator. So now let's see what we have created. I'll press play.
Hello, world. It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us, droid. May the Force be with you.
Okay, so that's a quick kind of animation. I already kind of can tell that my mouth movement wasn't intense enough, so I'm going to fix that. So select a character. I can have a little bit more expression on the face, but my lip sync multiplier wants to be more. You can kind of go quite extreme on this and make funny stuff. I'm going to double this for now. And then I go back to my animation. I go back to my animation and you'll see that
Hello,
now,
world. It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us, droid. May the Force be with you. Hello, world. It's me again.
And so the power of Replikant is that this is all procedural, right? So if I want to change this avatar, let's say I wanted to have a completely different character. I wanted to have, see, I was having a female voice. So let's say we want to have this one here. I can select everything. And I'll select this one. Now this is being updated. I go into my animation.
Hello, world. It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us.
And if I wanted to try a different voice on this, I could go back to my character, which is now saved as a loaded as a different character, right? So my personality is different as well. But I could go in and say, hey, I want to, let's say we want to have a male
This is a preview so you can understand how this voice sounds.
And then I can go back to my script and quickly basically say build sequence. So even if you were using tokens for the script generation, you now only are being charged for the voices.
Hello, world. It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone.
So that's how you can quickly kind of do things. So what do we need higher VRAM for this? Yeah, so obviously the better your graphics card, the better this will run. That said, there is, we have actually been like, so we've been developing this for quite a while, 5 years now. We actually kind of started developing on 980 graphics cards, and we are running on a 980. We run pretty well on a 1080. But yeah, if you have like a 4080 with like, I don't know, 48 gigs of RAM or whatever, it will run better and you can push your quality higher. There is a setting for that as well. This one was for toggling groom on and off. This one is to quickly go to a lower setup, and you can basically define in here what you want. So if I want to go to like low settings here, you can define what kind of graphics card you kind of need, and I'll put this on ultra performance. This runs really well. If I do this on my settings here as well, preferences, here you have graphic settings as well. I have a 3080, so for me balance works quite well between quality and performance and running on high. And yeah, exaggerator edit to lip sync. Yeah, so that's here, right? So basically, so if I want to have more lip sync,
it's me again.
So let me switch this back off.
It's me again.
So that is in your avatar settings. So your lip sync multiplier is what does this. So it's currently at 1. So let's say we want to go crazy and we want to have that at 5. This is what will happen.
Hello, world. It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us, droid.
This is obviously not a good setting, but for some cartoonish characters that have big mouth, you might want to go into these kind of values. I would probably say that here 1.5 would be sufficient. Maybe also the same on the facial expressions.
Are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us, droid. May the Force be with you.
So yeah, that's how that works. Let me take that cape off. That's better. In terms of modifying, you have modifiers actually. Let me kind of show that in context, right? So let's say we're here. If you want to add it in context, the easiest is to basically tear off the panel here. So now with her selected, do that here. This one here. I can go to my details and basically kind of say what I want, and then this as soon as I move slider here, this will update. So you can you naturally edit. There's no kind of, you can't edit the vertices, or you can't edit like any of the bones in the face yet, but there's a lot of editing that happens here. You can say expressiveness of the mouth and so on. On top of that, again, let's say I wanted her to be more, so this has all been coming in as neutral because I didn't manually edit. Yeah, you can edit anything. So edit the lip sync. So if you wanted to edit, you mean like you mean as in like the text that's generated? Actually, this is a good example. So usually when we generate a script, we also do a sentiment analysis on that. That since I typed it manually, everything came in as neutral, right? So you see that here, that my face track is all neutral. So let's say we're going to get rid of that because that doesn't really help us much. What I can do now here is, let's say that she is crying, whatever. I can drop that in here. So now I basically have a very sad face here.
Me again. We are finally getting to a place where those...
Maybe with a little bit less facial expressions, you see. You can tone that down. You can also say just the brows, so now I just have a frown.
It's me again. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of us, droid. May the Force be with you.
With the mouth. Yeah, they match. So if you tweak this here, edit, hello world, streaming now, and I press generate.
Streaming now.
I want something with a bit more less stable.
Streaming now. Streaming now.
Okay, select. So now this is updated here.
Streaming now. Streaming now.
Is that what you mean? So in terms of your lip sync here, you can also, so these were default avatars. If I put a meta human character base mesh on here. Let's see if we, this guy maybe. You actually, we're still working a little bit on the meta humans here, but you know, they obviously have like a far superior facial expression.
Streaming now. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We will.
So I'll remove the crying. So now he's got his natural face.
Streaming now. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome.
Phone in perspective. Yeah. So you have that also in the details. Actually, it's not right here. Well, that's not exposed in this build. But yeah, we have, that's, is it an expert mode? Let's see. Yeah, that's you cannot tweak the phonemes, but what you can do in your shapes, you have all the blend shapes here that you can modify and tweak. You see, so if you want him to basically have a you know, talk with like a mouth like this, and then his mouth is a little bit crooked, or bring in some dimples here, right? You can tweak that in these ARKit settings, next to like everything else you can do with these faces, right? You can tweak that as much as you can, but that will carry on in the personality of the character here.
Streaming now.
You see, so now he's got.
We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone.
And again, if you wanted to layer something on top of that, like here, discuss, you add that.
Streaming now. We are finally getting to a place where those pesky humans are gone. We welcome a new beginning for all of them.
So, yeah, basically, there's quite a bit of stuff you can do without having an iPhone or any kind of way of facial capture. And if you want to obviously reset, actually this would reset the whole shape tab. But if I just wanted to, reset what I just did, you press the X in front of it and you see that that's fixed. If I wanted to change everything on the head, you know, so now it goes back to a normal head. There's also this still needs to be kind of brought over to this mixer, but there's a ton of shapes in here that you can use to modify these heads. Do a quick face capture. Okay. All right, so you see my face cap app here. What I will do is create a new sequence. Edit that sequence. So now my character's on here. Now I will go to my motion capture. And in motion capture, which one was this? Henry Mitchell. I switch on head, and I'm using a face cap here. I can intensify that a little bit. Let's say maybe something like this. If I add a track now for this character, you can also do that from here, but I like working always in the timeline. So switch on my audio recording, and now I will record. Be like, let me hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant using a meta-human base mesh. So if I switch this off now. Hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant using... So this is actually quite good that I did this wrong. I forgot to basically say select all here. So this track is recorded only with the neck movement. So I'm adding the face now. And now you'll see the face. So if you want to put everything in one animation track, you got to go in here and make sure that the face is clicked on. So now you'll see this. Hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant. Let me overrule, for example, him looking at the camera. Quickly add a camera track. Hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant using a meta-human base mesh. So this is like now literally, I mean, I think I picked this iPhone up for like $40 because it's locked, right? So now what I would do, I can say just the face and the neck maybe here. So I have like facial and neck movement, you can see. What I can now do is like add my $50 webcam, and basically, but by no means I'm saying that this is the right way to do. It's like, for us it was just, you know, like you've been able to do all this stuff on high-end gear for decades, right? So for us the challenge was to how do we make this as simple and as easy as possible. So what I now basically want to do is like basically do some upper body capturing. So I will switch my body on and I will say, so you see this is quite nice what comes out of it. It doesn't know the distance very well because it's a webcam, but side does quite well. So now I'll record just this, right? While I play back. Hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant using a meta-human base mesh. So what did I? Oh shit! I should have done that on a different track. I didn't mean to do that on this track. Switch this off for a second. Let me just copy. This might be a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Put that on here. No. All right, let's do that again. Okay, just face and the neck in this one. Yep. And that's automatically linked. Then on this one, I'm going to do the lower body, just the upper body.
Hello, this is a quick demo of the facial capture in Replikant using a MetaHuman base mesh.
Oops. Okay, stop. You see, now we have put this together. And what you can always do now is like add your, modifiers, is what we saw in the beginning. And this is how you can gradually put your character to, how you can gradually basically build your, build up your character and your animation without, needing too much of it. You see, that's what I was mentioning. It doesn't, this little app, it doesn't know the depth very well towards the camera. So you see that sideways works quite well, but it's literally a super simple webcam. Actually, then one other thing that I kind of want to show is, oh, I was also recording double audio, so let's not do that. Actually, but one other thing that I wanted to show is like the camera tracks, because I end up using these camera tracks quite a lot, and in a way that you can cut around problems. I'll do something another time with an action sequence, right? But let's say if I wanna, let's quickly set up a couple of cameras, right? So we do this, we can do this by hand. We don't need to use any of the AI for that. So you can say new camera from viewport, add that one here. So now I have a new camera. I like to put them on the top of my tracks. And then I want to have like another one that's super tight here. New camera from viewport. And add it to here. If you were asking about multi-cameras, right? So now I have in my scene, as you can see, 3 cameras, 1, 2, 3. What's nice is that you can select these, and it will, when you're on the details, you can automatically kind of adjust this. So you can have your camera preview open, and basically kind of look at that while you're moving through your sequence. You can have a couple of those open. Let's say I'm working on this one. I decide that I want to be tighter in, and I want to focus tracking with him. So I have a nice depth of field, and I'm going to give it a 1.4 aperture. So that's a nice kind of close-up for me. If I want to see these cameras in the timeline, this workflow allows for multiple separate. Yeah, you can really many separate takes. You can stack it up. I mean, I haven't actually tested the max, but I never needed to. So let's say we have this guy here. Slide this a little bit. Sends are offensive. So now I have my camera tracks here, and basically, as you can see, I cut between all those quite quickly. But what is great is that you can basically work on your animation while you're editing. That is super awesome. So what works really well always is to set up a target. So if you basically say like this camera is always looking at this guy, and this camera the same here, always looking at him, always in focus, you can say track that character. Then you have your offsets here. So if I want to go a little bit lower or a little bit more to the right, a little bit lower is here. What's really nice when you're kind of editing and working like this is that the moment I change this character, you know, let's say I want him to walk into the scene or something, right? Or he comes in, the camera will always kind of follow with it. So let's say in my opening shot, I want him to come here from the side, you know, he can come in. And it's just a really nice kind of way of basically kind of editing while you are kind of designing your action. And yeah, this is like a really good little trick here, because I know it's kind of like hidden away in the cameras, but your you know, your target, you set that target, you can have your offset wherever you kind of want that. If I want to have more headroom, you do it like this, and then you have your focus method as well. I usually set that to tracking, and you know, 2.8 for the wider shots is good, but I like that shallow focus on the close-ups here. So yeah, that's how you can kind of work with the cameras. You can also record just with your iPhone and match that, but I'll leave that for the next time. So that was it basically. If there's any questions, you know, and if this is helpful, I'm planning to do these like a couple of times a week. Yeah, feel free to ask questions or have requests, and I'm going to do this like 3 times a week. Cool. Thank you. The workaround allows for multiple separate takes. Yes. Yeah, multiple separate takes works really well. And one thing that we haven't really kind of focused much on is, you know, stylized animation, because that's obviously quite labor intensive, but that's something we want to add as well. Great, thank you. Glad you liked it. I'm looking forward to, you know, see what people are making. So I'm gonna say bye and tune out and go and play with my baby. Stop stream.